So yeah, like let's get started, guys, without any further ado. Before that, a quick formal introduction on my end. My name is Mohammed Shoaib, and I'm a cybersecurity trainer certified from EC Council. EC Council is the leading organization for cybersecurity domain certifications. Okay, and the demo that we have today is on the first foundational course called Certified Ethical Hacking. Okay, and the version of this course that is running at the moment is version 11, the latest one. Okay. So again, before we get started, this is a common question that I usually ask students, again, to understand their perspective on this topic. So again, guys, don't worry, even if you don't know the answer, or if you're not sure about it, still just try to initiate, and let's keep the session a bit interactive and fun rather than just keeping it one-sided. So a quick sample question, like, according to you, in your perspective, what do you think hacking is? Anyone? Again, guys, don't worry, I am not asking for any definitive answers or exact to the point answers. Whatever comes to your mind, okay, whatever you think hacking is, please let me know. Anyone?
Try to breaking the system.
Trying to breaking the system, is that breaking, right? I mean, did I get it right? Break into
To
the
access
system?
Yes, try to
to access your personal things like computer, mobile.
Oh, okay, trying to break into the system
Uh,
or access personal things.
Unauthorized access to the system or data.
Unauthorized access to the system or data. That's a great answer. Again, all answers are perfectly right. There's nothing wrong with them. Perfectly correct answers. Anything else, guys? Does anyone else want to add anything to it? Right, perfect. No worries, guys. Thank you so much for those answers. Those are exactly right. There is nothing wrong with them. Okay, but if I had to just add upon that hacking, that definition, I would add it as hacking is the procedure of trying to gain access to information systems. Okay, these information systems could be anything. They could be from as small as a mobile phone to as big as a web application server or a database or the cloud organization as well. Okay, and this is done without the permission or without the consent and knowledge of the person owning those systems. Okay, so if those systems belong to a third party person, that person does not know that someone is trying to gain access to their information or the data. Okay, and this is usually performed by hackers for their own benefit. So once they get access to the systems, they can steal the data, destroy the data, or sell the data as well to other third party vendors. Okay. Now, depending on this definition, we easily understand that hacking is a malicious job. It is a criminalistic task. If it is such a bad thing to do, why do we have a course called ethical hacking? Is the second question. Because ethical is something which is legal, which is allowed. And how can it stand beside the word hacking, which is completely contradictory? So to define ethical hacking, on the other hand, this is the procedure of trying to find vulnerabilities. Okay, a vulnerability is nothing but a flaw or a loophole in the information system. So usually manufacturers might make mistakes somewhere here or there in the coding of the application. Okay, so that gives rise to something known as weaknesses in the information system, or in technical terms, it is also called as vulnerabilities. Okay, and this vulnerability finding, or the process of trying to find these vulnerabilities, is done with the consent and permission of the organization. Okay, so this is done in order to report it back to the target, okay, or to the authority, so that they can apply the appropriate patch for it. And once a patch is applied, that vulnerability is closed. It closes the doorway for the hacker to cause any harm. So thereby, with ethical hacking, we're trying to increase the security of the organization rather than cause any harm. Okay, so that is the main difference, guys, between hacking and ethical hacking. Where in hacking, we are trying to find, again, the hacker tries to take advantage of those vulnerabilities and tries to get information access. But in ethical hacking, you're trying to find those vulnerabilities, you're trying to report them back to get them patched so that you can increase the security. Okay, so I hope these two definitions are clear, guys. Again, if you have any questions, or if you have any queries, or if you want me to repeat something, please do not hesitate to let me know. Okay, feel free to interrupt me at any certain point. Okay, so now, depending on these two definitions, guys, of hacking and ethical hacking, we can categorize the types of hackers. So basically, there's three types. There's someone known as a black hat hacker, a gray hat hacker, and a white hat hacker. A black hat hacker can also be termed as a cyber criminal who performs hacking for his own benefit, okay, or sometimes even just for fun, without asking for consent. On the other end of the scale, we have the white hat hacker. Okay, white hat hackers are also known as ethical hackers or penetration testers. These are the people who abide by the laws and policies of the organization, and they work hand in hand with them to find the vulnerabilities and report it back. They do that so that they can secure the infrastructure rather than causing any harm. Now, in between, there's a third category, also known as gray hat hackers. Now, from the name itself, you can figure out they have some qualities of the black hat hacker as well as the white hat hacker, hence a mixture. Okay, so like a black hat hacker, they don't ask for permission before finding the vulnerabilities, but once they find the vulnerability, they report it back to the organization. Okay, and that is done in return for a bounty. A bounty is nothing which benefits them. It could be a financial reward or a reputational reward, anything which benefits them or their careers. Right. So all these three types of hackers, whether it be a black hat hacker or a gray hat hacker or a white hat hacker, they perform hacking or ethical hacking in a certain number of steps. Okay. And those steps collectively are called as hacking cycle or cyber kill chain. Okay. Now let me list those steps out one by one so that you can have a clear picture of what the whole course is about, and then we'll briefly discuss about all of them. Okay, so you can ask your questions regarding those. Okay, so the first step that you perform in hacking cycle or cyber kill chain is known as information gathering. Now, certain organizations term this step in different names. They can also call it as reconnaissance or footprinting. Second step is known as scanning. It can also be referred to as enumeration. Third step is gaining access. Fourth step is maintaining access. And the last step is known as reporting or clearing traces. Now, the reason I've specifically mentioned "or" in the last step over here is because that is where it makes all the difference between the white hat hackers and black hat hackers. If you are a white hat hacker or an ethical hacker, you would perform the first 4 steps and then you would generate a report with all the vulnerabilities and the solutions for that and submit it to the organization. But if you're a black hat hacker, obviously you're not going to submit the vulnerabilities, but you're going to take advantage of them. You're going to attack the system, get access to the data, steal the data, and then remove all the evidences, which is nothing but clearing the traces or removing the footprints. Okay, so any questions or doubts, guys, up to this part before I proceed further into the technical part? Any queries or any confusion at the moment? Again, guys, I hope the audio and video is fine. Any issues with my audio or video?
Okay. What is this enumeration, sir?
Again, yeah, we'll be coming to that, guys. We'll discuss each of these steps one by one so you have a better understanding of what all of them are. Okay, at the moment, until now, here there are no questions, right? Because I guess there's some issues with the audio or video. Some people are exiting and rejoining again. Any issues, any technical issues with my audio or video at the moment? Okay, perfect.
Sir, your voice is breaking.
Oh, my voice is breaking. 1 second, guys. Okay, hello, 1 2 3, hello, 1 2 3.
Now it is
Guys,
okay.
it's okay, right? Right, perfect.
Clear, sir.
Right, let's proceed now, guys, and understand each of these steps one by one so you have a clear picture of what they are. So the first step is information gathering. Again, as the name itself suggests, this step involves the hacker or the ethical hacker to gather as much data as possible about your penetration testing target. Okay, and all this information is gained passively. What I mean by passively is that you get this information from other third-party sources rather than contacting the organization directly. Okay, so for example, if I have a target like Wipro.com, about Wipro.com, I'll start searching online for all the material for it, okay, all the data regarding Wipro.com servers. Okay, the main question is what kind of data are we talking about over here, and this is the information that we require. So firstly, we try to figure out all the IP addresses and the range of IPs used by the Wipro's main servers or the secondary servers. Then the who is records to understand who is hosting Wipro.com and since when has it been hosting itself. Then the DNS records to understand what information is stored in their DNS servers, domain name servers. Then employee details such as their contact numbers, their email addresses, their usernames and passwords which are leaked, and their home addresses if possible, and so on. So then the domains and the subdomains of Wipro's website, and the operating system information, like what OSs are being used by the servers that are linked with Wipro.com. Now trust me, this guys, that all this information is available online to be gathered. So if I show you a very basic example, let's say if I wanted to find the DNS records for Wipro's organization, all I have to do is go to the browser, and in the browser I can search for a website called DNS Dumpster. This website is available for free for anyone to access. You can click on the first link, and over here you can just search for Wipro.com, and you can click on search, and now this is going to fetch and give you all the information about the Wipro's DNS servers. So first things first, it tells you where the Wipro servers are being located on geolocation map. So it tells us that there are 4 DNS servers for Wipro. As you can see, these are their host names, exact host names, and these are the exact public IPs. These IP addresses are very important for a hacker or an ethical hacker to proceed with the further steps of scanning and enumeration. Okay. After that, we can see that there's the host record telling us what are the Wipro servers IP addresses and subdomains IP addresses. So this is the main Wipro.com server, which is being hosted on the IP 66.7.148.227. Again, this information is very relevant for a hacker or an ethical hacker to proceed further. Further down, you can also see it also gives us the complete network topology. So this is how Wipro servers are connected to one another, and we have the whole network topology with the host names and their IP addresses. Okay, so this is basically whole Wipro's organization main server data. So again, this data is readily available, guys, for anyone to be accessed. That is not the vulnerability. Wipro themselves manually give out this data so that everyone around the world can access their servers. If this information is not given out, not many people will be able to access Wipro services and the website. Okay, the giving out of information is not wrong over here, but not checking if the information that you're giving is secure or not is the vulnerability. Okay, so we have to see that whatever Wipro is disclosing, all these servers one by one are completely secure. Okay, after information gathering is done, then we go with the next phase, which is known as scanning or enumeration. Now, one of you asked me what scanning or enumeration is. This is nothing but trying to get some extra information about the target by making active connections. What I mean by active connections is that you will directly connect to Wipro servers, and from them you will try to fetch the information. Okay. Similarly, when we talk about enumeration, that is about gathering as much information as possible about all the services that are running on the target organization. So in a Wipro's organization, you might have DNS servers, DHCP servers, SNMP servers, Telnet servers, SSH servers. These are the multiple servers, multiple web servers, or multiple other organizational servers. So about each of that server, you need to get information, like what version of services are they running and what applications are they running. So enumeration is trying to gather information about all the servers one by one by making active connections with them. Okay, so you're directly going to ping those servers and you try to fetch the information from them directly rather than contacting any third-party organization. Now, when we talk about scanning or enumeration, there are 3 types of them. There's something known as network scanning, then port scanning, and then finally vulnerability scanning. In network scanning, we can try to figure out on the target network what all devices are active. Okay, so what operating systems are they using, what servers are available, what client operating systems are there. So trying to understand what all devices are they using, IDS, IPS, routers, switches, what all devices are there. On those devices, then you perform port scanning. Port scanning is where you try to figure out what ports are open, and on those ports, what services are there running. Okay, what applications are there running. Then finally, you perform vulnerability scanning to figure out on those services, are there any vulnerabilities? Are there any weaknesses that you can attack on? So during this phase, we'll be using 2 important tools called Nmap and Nessus. So if I just search for enable Nessus over here, this is the tool that is used in organizations as well. So if I click on the first link, as you can see, this is Nessus Professional. If I click on buy, it's around $4,000 for 1 year subscription. Okay, quite an expensive tool, and this is the same tool that is used in real-time scenarios. So we'll be working on the same tool in our classes as well. We'll try to understand how to use this tool and how to run or perform vulnerability scanning. The reason why I'm showing you all this is just to make you understand that we will be using real-time scenario tools. Okay, whatever is used in organizations at the moment, we are up to date with those tools. Okay, after if I show you example, as you can see, I have the Nessus installed on my system over here. I'll show you how you can install on your system as well, and you can see you can perform various types of scans, and once you scan a system, it shows all the vulnerabilities one by one, the critical vulnerabilities or medium vulnerabilities, information based vulnerabilities. Again, don't get too confused, guys. We'll again learn how to understand this report. What are these vulnerabilities? What are these different levels of vulnerabilities? We'll understand all that. Okay, but basically Nessus is a tool which can perform network scanning or port scanning and try to understand what vulnerabilities are there on each and every system. So this is an automated tool. We'll learn how to perform automated testing and get a report from it. Once you get a report, you need to perform manual testing also. Okay, and that is nothing but our next phase, which is gaining access. Okay, so this is a huge concept. It covers a vast variety of topics, guys. We'll discuss them one by one. Okay, so the first topic that we'll be learning in gaining access is system hacking. So in system hacking, we'll understand how we can crack or bypass a Windows operating system password. So if you have Windows 7 or Windows 8 or Windows 10 or Windows 11, does not matter. Okay, whatever operating system you have, how do we crack that operating system? How do we get the information about their passwords? If you are unable to get the passwords, how can we bypass authentication and get access to the internal files, is what we learn in system hacking. After that comes malware attacks. Malwares are nothing but, in short, malicious softwares. So we'll practically learn how to create each of these malwares, whether it be viruses or worms or trojans, spyware, whatever it be. We'll understand how malwares are generated and how we can protect our system from malwares. Or if there is a malware already installed, how can we detect that malware and prevent it from running further or causing any further harm. Okay, then there's a bonus topic called malware advanced. This is again not included in the CH curriculum. We have just added it as a bonus topic for students to have better understanding about malwares. In this, we'll be sharing the resources to understand how you can create your own malwares by using Python program. So just in case if you know Python, well and good. If not, also not an issue. We'll be sharing the resources as extra material to understand. So if you are interested in malware development or so, this is a very important bonus topic for you. After that comes network penetration testing. In this, we'll learn all the common network attacks. So in a network, you have multiple, again, devices, IDS, IPS, multiple different types of servers like mail server or DNS servers, DHCP servers, SNMP servers, and so on. So we'll understand how to check for vulnerabilities on each of these servers. Along with that, we can perform a few attacks as well. Sniffing attack, man in the middle attack, denial of service attack, or distributed denial of service attacks, DDoS. Okay, and hacking Wi-Fi routers, trying to crack the password of Wi-Fi routers and getting access to those routers. All this comes under network penetration testing. Okay, all the common attacks that we can perform in a local network. After that comes social engineering, where we learn how hackers create fake websites. Okay, whether it be facebook.com, instagram.com, twitter.com, or flipkart.com. How are hackers creating fake login pages? And from those fake login pages, how are they getting the passwords, credentials? So we learn what phishing attacks are, what are the other social engineering attacks through which hackers manipulate victims into getting their passwords. Okay, so we'll learn all that, and we'll also understand how to prevent these attacks, how to distinguish between a fake page and an original page, and so. After that, we have web application pen testing. In this, we learn all the common vulnerabilities that exist on websites. So again, websites also have some weaknesses, okay, on which attackers can exploit and try to get access to the internal web server data or the internal database data, and so on. So to list out a few, there's vulnerabilities such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, broken authentication, file upload vulnerability. Now, might sound very technical, guys, but these are the weaknesses using which hackers can get access to your information, to your passwords and usernames. Okay. After that, finally comes hacking mobile phones, where we learn how we can hack an Android phone and get access to that Android phone remotely. After gaining access is done, then we have maintaining access and maintaining access, reporting and clearing traces, where we learn how we can maintain persistent connections. So if the target is restarting his system or shutting it down and starting after a very long time, How do we get access to that data? How do we still stay connected to the victim machine? Is what we learn in maintaining access. After that comes reporting of reading traces, where I'll show you how you can generate a report and submit to your client or submit to your organization, or how do you remove the evidences. So this course is designed in such a way where we learn both the perspectives of a black hat hacker as well as a white hat hacker. Okay. And it's designed in a completely practical way, no theoretical nonsense. Every day we'll have a class for 1 hour where the first 20 minutes we'll discuss the theoretical part, understanding what that attack is or how to prevent that attack. And then the remaining 40 minutes we'll discuss the practical part of it, okay, with real-time scenario tools. To list out a few tools, we'll be using this tool such as Nessus, we'll be using Nmap, we'll be using Burpsuit, we'll be using the whole main Kali operating system, okay, which I have over here, as you can see. Okay. Before that, let me show the course content as well, guys, very quickly. So yeah, this is over here, the course content for the whole course. Okay, and the course is for a duration of 35 days, where we learn from the very basics itself. So most of the students ask this as a question, like, sir, are there any prerequisites? Do we need to learn something else separately? No, this course is designed in such a way where even a 10th standard student can come and learn the course for, without any trouble. Okay, because all the prerequisites are included in the course itself. So before we dive into the advanced concepts, there's a few prerequisites which we will cover. The first few introductory classes. First things first, we learn about networking basics. We learn what IP addresses are, what are IPv4 addresses, what are IPv6 addresses, what is a DNS server, what is DHCP server, all the important protocols, what is TCP protocol, what is UDP protocol. We'll discuss all that in networking basics. Then we'll jump into virtualization. Okay, virtualization, because as you can see over here, I'm running my Windows 11 operating system. On top of this, I'm running my Kali OS. Kali is a Linux-based operating system. Okay, and we need to install this. The reason being, this comes pre-installed with all the penetration testing tools. So for information gathering, web application attacks, password attack, Wi-Fi attack, all these tools are available in Kali Linux. These are not available for you in Windows. So that is why we need to understand how to install this Kali operating system. Okay, and for that we need a tool such as VMware. VMware is a virtualization software. This allows you to install multiple operating systems on the same machine. So I have my Kali OS, I have my Windows 7 OS. All of these are running on my Windows 11 operating system, as you can see. Okay, so on my Windows 11, I can run my Kali, Windows 7, whatnot, as many operating systems as I want. After that is done, then we learn basic Linux and Windows commands, because as I've mentioned, we'll be using Kali Linux. So we need to know how to operate that OS. Okay, so we'll understand what the basic Kali commands are. We'll get familiar or comfortable with the Linux environment, and then we'll dive into the advanced concepts. Okay, so there's a few extra concepts there mentioned as well, as you can see over here: cryptography, reverse engineering, IoT, cloud security. These are not mentioned in the presentation for us, but these are all the topics that we'll be covering. Okay, the whole course duration is around 1 month, guys, 30 to 35 days, and we'll have a class from Monday to Friday onwards for every day for 1 hour. Okay, and the timings will be same. We'll have timings at 8 p.m. Every class will be recorded, and you'll be getting the recordings as well online, which we will have permanent access to. So just in case if you're missing out any class, you can access the recordings whenever you want. Okay, if needed, we can take backup classes as well on Saturdays and Sundays, just in case if there's a lot of absence. Okay, so yeah, that's that, guys. A quick introduction on what the course is and how long the duration of the course is. If you have any questions, you can shoot at me right now. Please let me know, guys. Any queries, anything that you want me to repeat or so.
Can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Sir, why we use that websites that you show before this PPT?
Sorry, Yogesh, I didn't get your question. Can you please repeat?
Sir, we as you said that we use some websites for ethical hacking. So that website that you opened before this PPT, I'm asking about that
Yeah,
website.
the DNS dumpster website, as you can see over here. This is for information gathering, trying to gather information about any certain client. So before we perform hacking, it's very necessary that we know all the data about that organization or the data about that target. So in order to get that data, we have to visit these third-party websites, Okay, sometimes your organization might not give you that data sufficient for us. Okay, that is why we need to gather that information from other third-party sources, websites like DNS Dumpster and so on. Okay, the more the data you have, the more possibilities you have to attack the system. Okay, the more attack vectors you can find or possible paths you can find to attack the system. Okay. So that is why it is necessary to access these websites and get the data about our target from these websites.
Okay, okay, so understood.
Right. Any other questions, guys?
Sir, which type of penetration testing we are going to learn here?
Again, CEH is a very comprehensive course, guys. We're not going to be going into any advanced level penetration testing, but we will learn all the kinds of, whether it be web application pen testing or network penetration testing or system hacking or Android pen testing. We'll be covering the basics of all of them. This is a course designed for people who are completely new to cybersecurity, and we can't leave out any endpoint. So we need to understand how to perform network security testing. We need to perform web security testing, Android security testing as well, and Windows or Linux security testing as well. So we'll be learning all of them one by one. Okay, we'll be covering each and every endpoint that is left, as you can see over here in the course content. Okay, but as I've mentioned, we won't be going in depth of all of them. We'll learn how to check for security vulnerabilities, basic vulnerabilities,
Hello.
and how to remediate them, how to remove those vulnerabilities. Okay, if you want to learn about any advanced after CEX is done, then you can go with advanced courses such as web application pen testing for bug bounty. This course is specifically designed only for website security testing. So in this, we'll be going with OWASP top 10. Okay, this is an organization which gives you the list of necessary vulnerabilities that you have to test for, and this course only focuses on web applications, nothing else. Okay, so after CEX is done, then you can choose a specific domain, and depending on your interest, you can choose your specialization. Okay, whether it be website security or Android security or network security or cloud security and so on. So
Okay, sir. Thank you.
right. Any other questions, guys?
No, sir.
Right. Okay.
After
So
course completion, certification provided.
yes, if anyone is interested in writing the CEH certification as well, we provide support for that also. There's complete pass guarantee. So I usually handle the certifications myself. So if you're planning on writing a
So this is
certification,
job guarantee.
this is what? Sorry.
Job guarantees.
Sorry, I didn't get you guys. Can you please repeat that? Hello.
After this course, his job is.
He's asking a
Oh yeah,
placement
yes,
assistance.
job assistance. Again, guys, at Durga, you're not going to be providing any confirm guarantee that we'll be placing you in an organization, but we'll be sharing your resume once you forward it to our consultancies. Okay, so in the price of 8,000 rupees, we are only including the course content with the course completion certificate. And if you're planning on writing a certification, we will give you certification support as well. Okay, so at that price of 8,000 rupees, we are not in contact with the complete job placement facility, but we do have few consultancies where we can give you your resumes too. Okay, once you're done with the resume preparation, I'll be helping you out in understanding how to create a resume as well, depending on a cybersecurity profile. I'll be also sharing the common interview questions, and I have a few references as well to whom I can forward your resumes. Okay, and again, we will be giving you the interview calls, and you can start attending interviews over there. Okay, again, it depends on your skill set and your practice on how well you do the interview. So we don't guarantee anything, but we will definitely show you where you can start applying. If it's necessary, I can just give you one source now itself. You can, after your course is done, this is the common website that I usually suggest for students, jobs.null.community. This is a website only specifically for cybersecurity job roles. Okay, nothing else. As you can see, null jobs. This is the website. Okay, and these are all the different domains, and you can start searching over here. So if you're a complete fresher, just click on freshers or internships, and these are so at the moment these are the available placements. Okay, so for internships, okay, if you're not into internships, you want a specific job role, you can start applying for VAPT, vulnerability assessment and pen testing. These are the ones at the moment for cybersecurity. After the course is done, you can start applying over here also. So this is one website that I suggest to most of the students once the course is done, so start applying for jobs. Okay, so again, how well you do, it depends on your skill set and your practicing, guys. Okay, and this website is specifically only for cybersecurity jobs, nothing else. Okay, any other questions, guys?
No, sir. Thank you.
Right, again, if you practice properly and if you're done with the course, guys, and if you're thorough with all the concepts, getting a job in these portals is not that tough. Okay, there's a lot of students from our previous batches as well who have searched for jobs in this nuls.job.co.in, and they found their internships and their jobs. Okay, so again, as I've mentioned, once you sit for the interview, it's all on you. Okay, so it depends on your preparation of how well or bad you do. So we can't guarantee anything, okay, because that's on your skill set, but we can at least show you where you can start applying for jobs. Okay, so yeah, that's that, guys. Nothing further for our session today. And yeah, if you have any queries, again, over here is my number, just in case if you have any queries, technical queries, you can let me know. This is the number over here, 7680069
Hello.
768.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you. Prabin, I can hear you.
Yeah. So I just wanted to know. Actually, I'm a working professional.
Right.
I'm working on the front end side, but wanted to move into this domain. So, what suggestions could you, give me on that side?
Again, saying I would recommend if you're completely new to this domain, go with Certified Ethical Hacking, CH version 11. This is a foundational
Okay.
course for people completely new so you'll be learning everything from scratch. After that is done, if you possible, if time and financial permits you, you can write the certification as well from EC Council. So there'll be a CH examination for 125 questions. Okay. And if you give 75% of them right, you get certified from EC Council. You get a certificate from the US organization. Okay, so that adds edge to your resume. If not, if you are not, again, certification is quite costly. It's around $500. So if you're not planning on writing the certification, I would recommend doing some extra advanced courses as well after CH is done, and then add that at least to the resume to build some edge again. Okay.
Okay. And is there any coding involved here, or is it into completely into, the
No.
security part?
Not at all. In CEH, you don't have any requirement for coding level language. But if you're planning on going for some advanced courses like web application pen testing or profile security testing, there you might need to have some basic knowledge. Okay. So when we talk about web application, it is necessary that you have basic knowledge on HTML and JavaScript. Okay. But when we talk about CEH, the foundational course, for this we have no requirement for any coding level language knowledge.
Okay, and what kind of roles are we can apply after the completion of this course? Like someone is if having 5 years of experience and he has transited into this particular cyber security, what kind of roles would be available?
Again, as you can see over here, these are the roles that you can start applying for. VAPT assurance lead, VAPT senior security analyst, cyber security consultant. These are all the job roles. Penetration tester, security analyst, or monitoring job roles, and so on. Vulnerability
Okay.
assessment tester. These are the job roles you can start applying for.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Right. Any other questions, guys? Right. Assuming there's no more questions, guys. So yeah, that's that for a session. Nothing further. Again, we'll be starting the course from Monday onwards, guys. Tomorrow and day after tomorrow, we'll be having the same demo. So just in case if you have joined late also, you can join tomorrow as well at the same time. And if not, you can directly join the course on Monday. Okay. If you have any further technical queries, guys, here's my contact number as I've mentioned already. Although if you have any queries regarding the course date or again course fees regarding that, you can contact the institute. Okay. So yeah, that's that, guys. Sure. So I'm gonna be exiting, guys. I hope you have enjoyed the demo. And yeah, if there's any queries, please do let us know how we can help you. Okay. Have a good day, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay. Hello, guys. Can you hear me now? Biswajit Singh, Rakesh, Ravikiran, Maman, Shiva, Sujata. I hope I'm audible now, guys. Yeah, Biswajit. Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can.
Right, perfect. So let's just wait for 2 more minutes, guys, for the other people to join as well. And then we'll be starting the session. Until then, if you have any queries or if you have any questions before we start the session, you could please let me know.
So,
Yes, I
excuse
can
me,
hear
sir.
you.
Yeah. So is this the same demo was on Sunday?
Yes, the same demo itself, guys.
Oh, okay. I have attended on Sunday, so I thought it would be some different or what.
No,
Okay.
it's the same demo, guys. I have a shorter version of that same demo. Again, we'll be starting the live classes, or the course is going to start from Monday onwards. So just in case we're planning on joining the course, you can join from Monday. The first class will be on networking concepts.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Tomorrow as well, we'll have one last demo. So Thursday and Friday, today and tomorrow will be the last demo sessions, just in case if students have missed out the previous demos, they can join. It's one last chance for them. And then from Monday, we'll be starting the course itself. Yeah, okay. So just in case, guys, if there's anyone who has already attended this demo session, again, just a heads up, this is going to be the same demo. It's not going to be any different from the previous ones. Okay, this is just backup sessions or backup demos for people who could not join earlier. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sure.
Sir, it means I can directly join on Monday because yesterday I was also present.
Yeah, sure, guys. Again, as I've mentioned, it's the same demo. It's not gonna be any different. So this is only for people who are completely new to it, who have not attended the previous demo sessions. So if you have already attended the demo session, guys, you can join back on Monday itself directly.
Okay, and the timing will be same at 8 p.m.
Same time, 8 o'clock in the night.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Okay, guys, so let's get started without any further ado. Before I get started, a quick formal introduction on my end. My name is Mohammed Shoaib. I'm a cybersecurity trainer certified from EC Council. EC Council is the leading organization for cybersecurity domain certifications. Okay, and one of the courses that it provides for people who are completely new to this domain is Certified Ethical Hacking version 11. This is the latest version of the course that is running at the moment, and this is a course designed in such a way for people who are completely new to this domain. So if you have no knowledge about what cybersecurity is or what hacking or ethical hacking is, this is the course to get started with. Okay. So before I proceed further, this is a common question that I usually ask all the students just to understand their perspective on this topic. So again, guys, let's keep the session a bit interactive and fun. So my first question to you is to understand what your perspective is on hacking. So again, not asking for exact definitive answers, guys, but just to understand your view on it. Okay, so whatever comes to your mind, please do let me know. In your terms, what do you think hacking is? Anyone? There's Biswajit, there's Maman, Rakesh, who else? Shafiuddin, Shiva.
Hello.
Yeah, Biswajit, I can hear you.
Sir, actually, according to me, hacking means to hack the information of organization or any systems.
Right? Yeah, hacking information or getting access to the information of organization systems. That's a good answer, Biswajit. Anyone else, guys, who wants to add anything to that? That's a perfectly right answer. There's nothing wrong in it at all. Perfectly all right. Any other additions to that, guys? Anyone who wants to append anything to that answer? Okay, no worries. Shiva, you were about to say something? Your mic was unmuted for a while. Did you have an answer? Okay, no worries, guys. So let me just add on with Biswajit's answer. So if I had to define hacking on, depending on using on his words itself, hacking is nothing but the procedure of trying to gain access to information systems. Okay, now these information systems could be anything. They could be as small as a mobile phone to as big as a database or a web application server or cloud organization itself. Okay, and this gaining access to these devices is done without the permission and the consent of the person owning those systems. Okay, so the organization who owns those systems has no clue that someone is trying to gain access to their data. Okay, and this is usually performed by hackers for their own benefit. So once they get access to the data, they can steal it, they can destroy it, or sell it on the dark web to other third-party vendors. Now, if hacking seems such a malicious job, why do we have a course called ethical hacking? Is the second question. Because ethical is something which is completely legal. And how could hacking become legal now? That's the main question. So when we talk about ethical hacking, on the other hand, guys, this is the procedure of trying to find vulnerabilities. Okay. A vulnerability in simple terms can also be called as a weakness or a loophole in the information system. And using these weaknesses only, hackers try to get access to the target informations, target information systems data. Okay, so your job as an ethical hacker would be to find these vulnerabilities before a hacker does, and this is done with the consent and permission of the organization. So once you find these vulnerabilities, you have to report it back to the organization so that they can apply the patch for it. And once a patch is applied, you're thereby increasing the security of infrastructure and preventing hackers from causing any further harm. So with ethical hacking, you're trying to increase the security and make the infrastructure much more secure and stronger compared to what hacking is. Okay, where you're trying to exploit vulnerabilities. Okay, so you see, are these two definitions clear, guys? Like what is hacking and what is ethical hacking, and how are they different from one another? Because most of the students have a misconception that both these terms are one and the same. No, guys, you're not going to be performing hacking. We'll be learning ethical hacking in the course. Okay, we won't be exploiting the vulnerabilities, but we'll see how to search for them, how to find them in an organization's systems, and how to report them back to the organization. Okay, so that we can prevent hacking from happening. Now, depending on these two terms, guys, we can categorize the different types of hackers as well. So we have someone known as a black hat hacker, then we have someone known as a white hat hacker, and in between there's someone known as a gray hat hacker. Okay, so firstly, the first category is black hat hackers. These people are also commonly referred to as cyber criminals. Okay, these are people who perform hacking for their own benefit, and they do this by asking no consent at all. On the other end of the spectrum, we have the white hat hackers, who are also termed as ethical hackers or penetration testers. Now, these people perform ethical hacking, or in simple terms, penetration testing, to find all the vulnerabilities in the organization. And they do this by asking for consent and by following all the laws and policies set by the organization. So they do not cross any line, they do not perform exploitation of any vulnerabilities, they only work to increase the security of the organization. Now, in between white hat hackers and black hat hackers, there's someone else known as a gray hat hacker. Now, as the name itself suggests, these people have both the qualities of black hat as well as a white hat hacker. Like a black hat hacker, they don't ask for permission before finding the vulnerabilities. But once they do, once they find the vulnerability, like a white hat hacker, they report it back to the organization. Okay, they don't take advantage of it, they don't exploit it and try to attack the system, but they report it back so that they can help the organization. But it's a give and take relationship, so it's a there's kind of a bargain over here. Okay, the catch is that these gray hat hackers ask for a bounty in return. Okay, a bounty is anything which benefits them, so they could ask for some prize reward, or they could ask for some reputational reward, anything which benefits their career and profile. Okay, and that is why in simple terms they are also known as bug bounty hunters. They find bugs in return for a bounty. Okay, so they are hunting for bugs. Okay, now all these three types of hackers, whether we take black hat hackers, gray hat hackers, or white hat hackers, they perform hacking or ethical hacking in a certain number of steps. Okay, and they follow a procedure, a systematic procedure. That systematic procedure is known in simple terms as hacking cycle or cyber kill chain. Okay, various organizations categorize these steps into various numbers, but if I had to summarize it up, there are 5 important steps in hacking cycle or cyber kill chain. Whether you take a black hat hacker, or a white hat hacker or any kind of a hacker, he needs to follow the same procedures as well. Okay. Now let me list them out first, and then we'll discuss in detail about each of them, so you have a clear picture of what the whole course is about. Okay. So the first step is known as information gathering. It can sometimes also be referred to as reconnaissance or footprinting. So they are one and the same term, guys. Don't get confused. Various organizations use various terminologies, but whether you hear information gathering or reconnaissance or footprinting, all the three terms are one and the same. After that, you have scanning, which can also be referred to as enumeration. Then you have gaining access. Then you have maintaining access. And then finally, there's a reporting or clearing traces. Now, the reason why I've mentioned or over here in the last step in capitals is because to make it a note to understand that this is the only step where you have a difference between black hat hackers and white hat hackers. Now, whether you are any kind of a hacker, whether it be black, white, or gray, the first four procedures are to be followed mandatorily. So you have to follow those first four procedures in the same order. After that, in the end, what changes is the last thing that you do. Okay, if you're a white hat hacker, you would definitely report all the vulnerabilities that you have found with the remediations, with the solutions to remove those vulnerabilities. If you're a black hat hacker, definitely you're not going to be giving any solutions, and obviously you won't be reporting it, but you will try to remove all the evidences. So whatever harm you have caused, whatever data you have stolen, you might leave some footprints here and there. Okay, so that is why it's very necessary that you remove or clear those footprints so that you cannot be traced out and you stay anonymous. So that is known as clearing traces in simple terms. And in our course, we'll be learning both the perspectives, how we can generate a report and submit to the organization, or how hackers clear the traces and remove all the evidences. Okay. Now, let's briefly discuss about each of these one by one, guys, so you have a better idea on the whole course. But before that, any questions, guys, for anyone? Again, please feel free to interrupt me at any certain point. Do not hesitate to ask a question. Please
Hello,
let me know. Yeah, Biswajit, I can hear you.
sir. Is this class is getting recorded?
Yeah, this will be recorded, definitely. Every single class that we take will be recorded and it will be uploaded to the Google Drive. So even once we
Sir,
start our course as well, the whole duration of the course, every single day we'll take a 1 hour class, and each class will be recorded and uploaded to the Google Drive. So that
okay,
just
sir.
in case if you're missing out, if you're absent for a session, you can access the recordings whenever you want to.
Okay, okay, sir. Actually, from the starting, you told about hacking and ethical hacking. So,
Mhm.
could you please briefly tell me? Hacking means like you're hacking the particular credence, some credential information, like something personal information you are hacking. But ethical hacking was that. Oh, I did not get it properly.
Good question. Again, Biswajit, when we talk about hacking, this is something that cyber criminals perform. Okay, hacking is where you're trying to get access to information devices. Okay, and using those information, what you do with that information defines what kind of hacking you do. Okay, so in ethical hacking, we are trying to understand how hackers are hacking that information. So what are the procedures are they following, and how are they actually finding that vulnerability, and how are they checking for those vulnerabilities on the systems? Okay, so we as ethical hackers try to find those same vulnerabilities that hackers use, and we try to rectify those vulnerabilities. We try to apply the patches for them. Okay, so just
That
like
that,
how
that, means,
hackers do it, we are going to do it
that
in an
means
ethical manner. Yeah,
okay. That means, sir, if a hacker is trying to hack some particular information, and the ethical hackers are there to prevent that through their coding or whatever the algorithms. I think.
exactly. Again, in simpler terms, it's not about algorithms and stuff, but it's about the source code actually. Okay, so whatever it is known as a vulnerability. A vulnerability is a weakness or a misconfiguration of the system. So ethical hackers do the job of finding those vulnerabilities before a hacker can cause any harm. Okay, and once the vulnerability is found, they disclose it to the organization, and organization will remove that vulnerability so that your systems are secure.
Okay. Sir, then although you told about the black hat hackers,
Mhm,
red hat, and gray. So what are the
mhm.
what are the job responsible of the three hackers?
Again, yeah, I'll be coming to that as well, Biswajit. So when we talk about ethical hackers, we have a certain few job roles that we can apply for. I'll be discussing that at the end of the class. Okay. Until this part, any questions at all?
Okay, hacking cycle. And you information gathering, scanning, in information. You will tell detail about this chapter, I think.
Right now, yeah, that's the main thing to do right now. I'll be doing that now.
Okay. Sir, you continue.
Sure. Right. Anyone else, guys, who has any other confusion or any issues with the clarity? Mamun, Shafiuddin, Shiva. Right. Okay. Now let's briefly discuss about each of these terms, guys, one by one, so that you have a better picture of what we are going to be discussing in the course as well. Okay. So the first step is information gathering. Okay. As the name itself says, information gathering is nothing but trying to gather as much data as possible about the target organization. So if we take our client, for example, Wipro.com, for the time being, we need to gather information about Wipro servers. Okay. Now the main question is, what kind of information are we talking about over here? And this is the information as follows. Okay, so we try to gather information such as the IP addresses or the range of IPs used by the Wipro servers, then the who is records to understand who is hosting Wipro's website, and since when it has been hosted, when was it last updated, when will it expire, then the DNS records to understand what data is stored in the DNS servers, then employee details such as the contact numbers, email addresses, usernames and publicly leaked passwords, and domain names of the Wipro.com, subdomains of Wipro.com, and operating systems. So what OSs are they using in their organization? So if I give you a very basic example, I can just go to my browser, and in the browser I can search for a website called DNS Dumpster. This is a common website that I usually show in the demo sessions. So if I search for DNS Dumpster, I get the first link. Now this is an example of information gathering. So you're trying to gather information about Wipro.com from other third-party sources. So right now in this step, we are gaining an information passively. What I mean by passively is that we are not contacting Wipro.com directly, but we're trying to gather information about Wipro.com from other third-party sources, such as DNS Dumpster. Now when I click on search, I can notice this gives me all the information about Wipro's DNS servers. Okay, so at the moment Wipro has 4 DNS servers with these host names and these exact public IPs. So these IP addresses are very important for a hacker or for an ethical hacker to proceed further in the further steps of hacking. Okay, after this information is given out, we can see the mail servers, we can see the DNS servers, we can see all the host records, which are nothing but the main servers of Wipro.com, the main domain name and the other subdomains, and their exact public IPs. Scroll down much further and you can see the whole complete network topology. So this is how Wipro's servers are connected to one another. Okay, so these are all the servers of Wipro. Okay, the main domain and all the subdomains, and the mail servers also, mail or DNS servers. Okay, so this gives us complete information of all the endpoints that you have to test for complete security of Wipro. Okay, now this information is given out by Wipro itself. It needs to be given out. It is mandated so that people can access their services. Okay, what that is not the vulnerability, guys. Giving out the information is not the vulnerability, but not checking if each of these endpoints are secure or not is the vulnerability. So a pen tester or an ethical hacker needs to check for each and every endpoint and see to that on each of these servers there are no unnecessary ports running or unnecessary services running which are having vulnerabilities. Okay, so now next comes the scanning phase. So after you gather information like this about a target organization, then we go with the scanning phase. Okay, scanning is where we get some extra information by directly contacting the servers. Okay, so to gather more information by making active connections with the direct target. So in this phase we'll be using 3 types of scanning. There's network scanning, port scanning, and vulnerability scanning. In network scanning, we try to figure out on the target network, on the target organization, what all devices are being used. So if we take Wipro for example, in Wipro's company or in Wipro's office, what all devices are being used, what servers are they using, what firewalls are they using, what IDS, intrusion detection systems or intrusion prevention systems are they using, and what all services are they using, DNS, DHCP, and so on and so. Okay, once we know that, then we perform port scanning to figure out all the services as well and their version details. So if they're using DNS service, what version of DNS are they using? If they're using mail services, what mail services are they using and what versions are they? Okay. Finally, perform vulnerability scanning to find the weaknesses on those servers. So if there's any application with an inbuilt weakness, or if there are any misconfigurations like weak password or default unnecessary ports open, all that comes under vulnerabilities. So we scan for vulnerabilities by using some automated tools. Okay. So if I go to the browser now, I can show you one of the very important tools, which is Tenable Nessus. So this is the same tool that is used in organizations, guys. As you can see over here, quite an expensive tool as well. If you click on buy, You can say it's around $4,000 or so for 1 year subscription, and we shall be using the same tool in our lab setup in our classes. So let me show you how the tool looks like. Admin password. Yes. So again, default password, default credentials, policies, scan templates. So this is how your Nessus tool looks like, guys. So this is capable of performing your network scan or port scan or vulnerability scan, and gives you the list of vulnerabilities. So once you perform a scan, it shows you in your network whatever devices are there, what vulnerabilities are there on those devices. So it categorizes the weaknesses on the system in 5 levels: information, low, medium, high, and critical. So if a company has any critical vulnerabilities, it means hackers can easily get access to their servers. Okay, so we'll understand how to perform vulnerability scanning, how to know if a system has any vulnerabilities, and if hackers can hack their organization so easily. Okay, if they can hack, how do we provide the solutions is also what we learn. Okay, after scanning is done, then we go with the next phase, which is gaining access. Now this is a huge concept, guys, covers a lot of variety of topics, and these are the topics as follows. Before I proceed further, any questions or doubts up to this part, guys, in information gathering or scanning? Biswajit, Mamun, Shafiuddin, Shiva. Please do not hesitate, guys. If you want me to repeat something, I will definitely do.
Sir,
Yeah.
Sir, please repeat that first part.
Which one?
Like before gaining access, you told us some gathering information. Like I understood that what if their system in vulnerability in the system, so hackers are easily hack that system. So I understood somehow.
Oh yeah, in information gathering again, Biswajit, as I've mentioned, we try to gather information from other third-party websites. So there's websites like DNS Dumpster, Hunter.io. So from other third-party sites, we gather information about the target. After that, then we perform scanning. So we directly get access to target servers or whatever target it is, whether it is Wipro.com or so and so. Okay. And in their target organization, we perform the scanning to figure out in their network what devices have what vulnerabilities. So in my local network, I have scanned for 3 devices, and in each of these devices, I can see the weaknesses on each system. Okay. Tells you what the weakness is. Okay. If there's an unsupported OS, what is the solution to remove that vulnerability, and what can be performed with that vulnerability. So this scanning tool gives you that up-to-date information. Okay, so this is all this all comes under automated vulnerability scanning. Okay, so this is something that you always perform in an organization to test for vulnerabilities on different systems.
Okay, it is software.
Yeah, it is a software. This is the Nessus tool. The Nessus tool is nothing but a software that we have.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Right. So this is the same tool that is used, the same software that is used in organizations as well. Okay, and we'll be running in real-time scenario. Whatever tools that are being used, we work on them in real time. Okay. So yeah, now proceeding further, after all this is done, then we go with the gaining access phase. This is where we try to perform various kinds of attacks to get access to the systems. Okay, once we perform the scanning, once we know that these are the vulnerabilities on which you can attack on, next part is nothing but to attack directly, which is nothing but penetration testing. So in this, as I've mentioned, there's a huge set of topics. Okay, so let me discuss them one by one. So first topic that we'll be discussing is system hacking. So in system hacking, we learn how we can hack or crack or bypass a Windows operating system password. So whether it be Windows 7 or Windows 8 or Windows 10 or Windows 11, doesn't matter. How do we crack or how do we bypass the password is what we learn in system hacking. So if your system is password protected, how can you crack and understand what the password is in clear text? Or if you're unable to crack it, if it is too tough to crack, how can you bypass that password and still get access to the internal files is what we learn in system hacking. After that comes malware attacks. Malwares in simple terms are nothing but malicious softwares, and we'll practically know how to create each of these malwares. So people think that viruses are on the only malicious software is available on internet, but that's a misconception. We have multiple malicious softwares. We have viruses, we have worms, trojans, backdoors, spyware, rootkit, whatnot. There's tons and tons of malwares, and there's thousands and thousands of malwares added every single day. So we'll practically learn how to create each of these malwares and how to prevent our system from getting attacked by these malwares, or how to detect for malwares on our system. Then comes network penetration testing. Okay. in network pen testing, we learn all the common network vulnerabilities. Okay, so in an organization, in a local network, there are multiple services. There's DNS service, Telnet service, SMTP service, DHCP service. These are all the services or protocols used in a common organization. So we learn how to test for weaknesses on each of these servers. And after that, we'll also learn how to perform network attacks like sniffing attack, man in the middle attack, DOS attacks, or hacking Wi-Fi routers and cracking Wi-Fi router passwords. All this comes under network pen testing. Then comes social engineering, where we learn how to crack passwords from websites. Okay, so how do hackers make fake login pages, Facebook page, Instagram page, or a Flipkart login page, bank login pages? How do hackers get your passwords from these pages? Okay, how can they create fake login pages and send them to the victims and perform phishing attacks? All this comes under social engineering. Then finally comes web application pen testing, where we learn all the common website weaknesses. Okay. Is this useful for SOC analyst role? Yeah, Shafiuddin. We'll be discussing a very basic tool called Splunk as well. That is very important for your SOC analysis role. Okay. SOC is nothing but Security Operations Center, guys, just in case if anyone is confused. Okay. In SOC job roles, we usually see how to monitor and detect threats. Okay. Threats are nothing but attacks. Okay. So for that, we'll be discussing a very basic tool, a very important tool actually, but the very common tool used in SOC, which is Splunk. So this course was helpful for that as well. Shafiuddin. Okay, now after that, coming back to our topic, guys, as I've mentioned, we'll be discussing web application vulnerabilities, where we learn all the common website weaknesses. Now again, this might sound a bit technical, guys, okay, but these are a few common weaknesses that exist, such as SQL injection, cross-site scripting, broken authentication, file upload vulnerability, and so on. So these are the weaknesses that hackers use to get access to the web server, okay, or the databases in the backend. Okay, after that, we have hacking mobile phones, where we learn how to hack or crack an Android application phone. Okay, so how do we use Trojan attacks and get access to the Android phone remotely? Okay, after this is done, then we have two small topics, which are maintaining access and reporting or clearing traces. So this is the most important concept, guys, gaining access. After that, we need to know how to maintain persistent connections. So how do hackers maintain a connection even if the system restarts? Okay, is what is known as maintaining persistent connections. After that, we have reporting or clearing traces, where we'll see how to generate a report and submit to the organization. Or if you're a black hat hacker, how do they remove all the evidences? How do they clear the traces? Okay. Now, since not everyone is from a technical background or might not be from a technical background, we will discuss a few prerequisites as well. Okay. So the course is designed in such a way where you don't have to learn anything separately from outside. So if this is in a way to even a 10th standard student to understand this course in a simple and sufficient manner. Okay, so before we dive into all the advanced concepts, we'll be discussing these 4 prerequisites or 4 to 5 prerequisites. So first we'll learn basically what ethical hacking is, or how is it different from hacking. Then we learn virtualization. Okay. The reason why we need to learn about virtualization is because we'll be using a tool called VMware. So as you can see on my desktop, this is my Windows 11 operating system, and on this I have my VMware application. Okay, this VMware allows me to run multiple operating systems on one single machine. Okay, so as you can see, I can run my Kali OS, I can run my Windows 7 OS, Ubuntu OS, and so on. So, okay, the reason why we need virtualization is because we need to run something known as Kali Linux. This is a Linux operating system, guys. Okay, and this is very important for us because this comes pre-installed with all the penetration testing tools. Okay, for hacking tools or ethical hacking tools. As you can see over here, there's information gathering tools, there's web application testing tools, there's password attacking tools, Wi-Fi attacking tools, and so on. So these are the tools that specifically come only with Linux OS. Okay, they're not available in your Windows operating system. So that is why we need to know how to install this operating system and how to use this out. Okay, again, one good thing is this is completely free and open source. Anyone can download this operating system from the official website kali.org. Kali.org. Okay, so how to download this and how to install this is what we learn in the virtualization class. After that is done, then we will go with basic Linux and Windows commands. So as I've mentioned, Kali is a Linux OS. So we need to understand how to use a Linux operating system. What are the basic commands in Linux and how is it different from Windows operating system? After that, we learn basic Windows server configuration, how to configure a DNS server, how to configure a web server in Linux, in Windows OS. Okay, and after all that is done, then we go with the important concepts. Okay, information gathering, scanning, enumeration, then gaining access, maintaining access, all that comes after that. Okay, so until these concepts are done, then you'll be ready for all the advanced concepts. So this is designed in such a way where you don't have to learn anything separately from anywhere else. Okay, so after that, again, there's a few bonus concepts as well, guys, such as cryptography, reverse engineering, IoT, cloud security, Splunk. So these are not included in other institutes. Okay, these are a few concepts that we have specifically designed in such a way so that you can proceed further and learn advanced courses as well if you're interested. Okay, so yeah, that's that, guys. Again, one last thing, the whole course is for a duration of 1 month, where you'll have classes from Monday to Friday every day for 1 hour. Okay, and every class will be recorded and it will be uploaded to Google Drive. So just in case if you're missing out any classes, you can access the recordings as well. Okay, so yeah, that's that, guys. Any questions on your end? Yeah, Biswajit, you were asking me one question, asking about the job roles, I guess. So once you're done with the course, you can start applying for job roles like SOC analyst, vulnerability assessment tester, or penetration tester, or again, security engineer, and so on. So, okay. So these are the job roles you can apply for once you're done with the course.
Actually, I have taken this course and I was just learning this course just to get a job in that ethical hacking, like information security and in any IT company. So actually, sir, as I came to know that, sir, is there any like coding algorithm required to just like to do such kind of activity in
Good
ethical
question.
hacking?
Great question. This is a very common question that is frequently asked by students, that do we need any coding knowledge required for this course? Definitely not. So, sir, in CEH we will be discussing again. We will be primarily focusing on Linux operating systems. So we need to know how to use a Linux OS properly. Okay, so that is the only requirement which we will be learning throughout the course. Okay. Other than that, you do not require any coding level language knowledge at all. Okay, so coding or development knowledge is not at all necessary. Wherever it is, we will be discussing that basic necessity of it. Okay, so there are certain topics where we have a topic called malwares. So in this we learn how to create malwares. Okay, so in that one topic will require basic coding language knowledge, but again, that itself I will myself be teaching it. Okay, so you don't need to learn anything separately from anywhere else. And other than that, this one topic malware, we won't be using coding language at all anywhere.
Mhm. So, so Ajay, so actually, I am doing job in Linux support, like technical support.
That's great. This is going to be a lot easier for you then.
Mm. So actually, that's why I want to change my career, change my like next job into information security on the doing ethical hacking courses. Yes, I one more thing that, sir, is there is it necessary to get the certification on ethical hacking, like you have done something
Right.
hack?
Again, it gives an edge, Biswajit. It's better to have a certification. If you're not going with certification, I would recommend you learn a few extra courses as well. Okay. After certified ethical hacking is done, then go with one advanced course, one specialization course like network security or web application security or so and so. So that will add you some much more value to your certification. Okay. So into your resume actually. Okay. So it's better to have certification, but if you're not having certification, just to increase or broaden your skill set, learn an extra course after CH in cybersecurity itself. Okay, there's many streams. Okay, we provide web application security as well, testing. So you can join this course as well, just in case if you're not doing a certification. Okay.
Okay, okay, okay. So after that, web application security is another course.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Okay, so in this syllabus, sir, what we will learn totally, overally, what we learn, how much we can work in a company?
Again, as I've mentioned, CH is the foundational course, so you'll be learning about all the endpoints. So you won't be focusing on one of them, but all the comprehensively all endpoints. So we'll learn network security also, we'll learn wireless security also, we'll learn Windows and Linux hacking also, we'll learn Android security also, and we'll learn web
Mm.
application security also. But in CH, one thing is you are going to be like a master of, jack of all trades, master of none. So you're not going in deep, you're not specializing in any one of the fields, you're learning about all the fields. After that, you can choose one specialization and you can focus on that. You can either go towards web security or cloud security or network security. Depends on your interest,
Okay, 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 understood, sir.
right?
Then that will the final and long-term career.
Long term, yes. Okay. To get started first, usually in cybersecurity, you usually get monitoring job roles for a few months. Okay. After that,
Okay.
then you can go into deeper course. Mamun, are you going to teach all security courses? Yeah, I'm the same tutor, Mamun. So after CH is done, if you're planning on going with cloud security or web application security, we provide those as well. At the moment, mobile and network is not included, but just in case, since there's a huge boom, there's a huge requirement for web application. So that also I provide.
Okay. Okay, sir.
You can go with 1 year experience, Shafiq, not more than that with CEH. But if you like add a few more courses after that, like after CH, if you do web application and also, you can add a couple years experience, like 2 or 3 years of experience as well. Okay, because you need to know more tools with such years, that huge years of experience. They will ask you what tools you have worked on. Okay, so it's better you have a few knowledge on those tools. So with more the courses, you get more experience with different tools.
Okay, sir. So will you please help with practically all the things?
Again, the whole course. Oh, is it back-to-back training? Yeah, Mahmood. Again, after the CH is done, I usually take separate classes for web application students as well who are interested to join that. Okay, so that will be a back-to-back session directly. Again, yeah, coming back to you, Biswajit, you were asking me something. What was the question again? I forgot.
No, no. Actually, I was asking, sir. What, sir? Forgetting. Anyway.
I forgot as well. But let me try to recollect. Does anyone else remember, right, guys, what Biswajit was asking? Practical, yeah, good question. So again, the whole course is designed in such a way where it is 20-40 ratio, guys. So out of all the 60 minutes that we have every single day, the first 15 to 20 minutes will discuss the theoretical part. The remaining 40 minutes will discuss the practical part itself with real-time scenario examples. I'm not going to be boring you with theoretical knowledge. Only in the demo class and only in the first few introductory classes we'll discuss theoretical concepts. Once we start from the information gathering, everything is going to be completely practical based. Okay, with tools
Sir,
that are used in real-time scenario.
are you teaching cloud security?
Yes, I teach cloud security as well, Biswajit. Okay, but again, as I've mentioned, that is usually taken up after CH is done. Okay, so we'll discuss on AWS security and again, mostly on AWS itself.
Actually, I wanna make my career into that like cloud security part. That's why I was thinking how much practical you will teach here and how much we can be skilled enough in this course so that we can be confident enough while attending the interview. So, will you please discuss on about the some like mock interview questions and resume building?
Definitely, I will help you. I will send you sample resumes as well to understand how to create a resume for a cyber security profile. Okay, and along with that, I'll also share the commonly asked in interview questions. So I have a PDF document prepared for that specifically, which I share with all the students after the course is done for all the cyber security related interview questions. Okay, so I'll be sharing
Suppose
all that as well.
okay, sir. No, because I have planned after completion of this course, I have planned to move on cloud security by practicing those questions and all the practical things.
Definitely. Again, if necessary, I'll be sharing the resources as well, Biswajit, separately for you regarding your
Oh,
cloud security content. Okay. So if
okay,
you're planning on
okay,
doing a course after CS is done, then you can contact me for that. We can do that course separately.
okay, 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 sir.
Okay, it's
Thank you.
not included with Durga Soft at the moment, but again, yeah,
Mm. Okay, sir.
sure. Any other questions, guys, at the moment? Okay, assuming there's no questions, guys, I'll be ending the session over here. And yeah, that was great interacting with you guys all, Biswajit, especially with you because you have asked a lot of questions. So I hope everything is clear and you have no more unresolved queries.
Okay,
And
now
yeah,
I understood. I will follow that like recording also. If I got any doubts and demo sessions, I will go. I will ask you in the next class.
definitely, sure, definitely. Again, guys, if necessary, here's my contact number as well, 7680069 If you have any technical queries, you can contact me over here. If you have any queries regard what other technology we should know. Again, Maman, as I've mentioned, it's better to have Linux knowledge, Linux commands knowledge, and how to use a Linux operating system, and basic networking knowledge. What are IP addresses, what are IPv4, what are IPv6 addresses. If you do not know these also, as I've mentioned, all these are included in the course itself. So these are the prerequisites which are required. But again, I have included them in the course just in case if you're not familiar with them. Okay. So there's no prerequisite for joining the course. All you need is a good laptop to run the practicals. Okay. Minimum requirement would be at least an i3 processor, oldest to oldest i3 processor, and minimum to minimum 6 GB or 4 GB RAM. If you have 8 GB, that is recommendable. Okay. Recommended. But if you have minimum 4, it might hang a bit, but it will work. Okay. So one important requirement is you need a laptop or a device for practicing, because we have a lot of practicals in the course. Okay. So other than that, nothing else is required. Okay. Just interested mindset and a device to practice on. Those are the only two requirements for this course. Nothing more.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, that's it, guys. Nothing further for the session today. If you're interested to join the course, you can join this from Monday. We'll be having the first class on Monday for networking concepts. Okay. And after that, yeah, tomorrow as well, there's another demo session. So just in case if anyone is planning to join a demo again, you can join it tomorrow at the same time. If not, we'll be starting the course from Monday itself directly.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Okay, guys. Good day. Thank you for joining the session. It was great interacting with you. And I'll see you soon, guys. Bye-bye. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Thank you, guys. Good night. Guys, can you see the screen now?
Yeah, I can see you now.
Yes, sir.
With the
Yes, it's visible.
Sujata, Somat.
Yes, sir, it's visible.
Right, perfect. Thanks. Okay, how many people are there? Kiran, Rakesh, Biswajit, Prashant, Shubha, Somat. Okay, perfect. Okay, guys, let's get started with the session without any further. I am already a bit delayed in starting the session, so sorry for that, guys. I was stuck in a work. There was an issue with a security vulnerability actually with one of the organizations, so stuck with that. But anyways, let's get started with our class today. With our first session today will be on basic networking concepts. Before I get started, any issue with my audio or video? Anyone? Is everything fine? Can I proceed
Yes,
with the
sir.
class?
No, actually, we are getting some like noise.
A kind
Oh,
of
there's some
issue.
background.
Yeah,
Yes,
they're
we can
not
call it
not
as a kind of.
not clear.
One second. Thank you. 1 second. I'll just change my microphone. Just give me a second for that.
Yes, yes.
Okay. How does it sound now, guys?
It is audible now.
Yes, now it is clear.
Sort of background disturbance, no kind of issues.
Yes, yes.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, guys. So let's get started without any further ado. So as I've mentioned, in today's class, we'll be going with basic networking concepts. We'll discuss what IPv4 addresses are. Okay. So before diving into IPv4 addresses, let's try to understand what a network is and what a host is. Now, these are very two simple words that you keep coming across every single day. Okay. A host is nothing but an information device. Okay. Any information device which is capable of communicating with other devices is known as a host. Okay. It could be a mobile phone, it could be a router, it could be a laptop, a personal computer, or any other device, an information device. Okay, which is capable of communicating with other devices. Now, when you have such devices connected to each other, okay, which can communicate with one another, that forms a network. Okay, so a network is a collection of hosts which can communicate with each other and transmit data. Now, just like how we humans communicate with one another, we have our respective names. Okay, I can address you by your name. You can call me by mine. okay, and we can communicate with one another. We have our unique identities, okay. Similarly, these information devices as well have their unique identities, okay. So when they communicate from one device, when it wants to send packet to another device, it has a unique address for each device, okay, and on that address they communicate with one another, and that address is known as the IP address, guys. IP stands for Internet Protocol. This was built by the US military late in the 1950s or 1960s, okay, and there was IP version 1, IP version 2, IP version 3. All these were unsuccessful attempts. They were you could say experimental. What successfully worked out was the IP version 4, and we are still using that in today's world also. IP version 4 in simple terms is Internet Protocol version 4, okay, and that is what we'll be discussing about in today's class, okay. Anyone here who already knows about IPv4 addresses and who's familiar with these networking concepts?
No, sir.
Anyone?
I'm not familiar, but I know the some, like whenever I was doing programming, networking programming in college days. So since the networking, I know how to join the socket networking programming. I know some networking IP address, and also I've studied through MCA curriculum. So
Right. Okay, perfect. No worries, guys. Just in case, even if you don't have any idea, we'll be going from the very basics, okay, from the binary itself, okay, to understand what these IP addresses are. Just as a information question, I just wanted to know if anyone was familiar. If not, also, don't worry at all. Okay. So I hope you know why we need IP addresses, guys. IP addresses are nothing but acting as an identity for each device. Just like how we have our names, you can address me by mine, I can call you by yours. Similarly, devices communicate with one another depending on IP address. Okay. Now, how does this IP address look like? Okay. Our names have alphabets in them: SHOAIB, SIVA, Shiva, and so on. So, but IP addresses are completely numeric based. Okay. Specifically IPv4. Okay. IPv4 are completely numerical or decimal addresses. Okay. It's a 32-bit address, first property. Now, what is a bit? A bit is nothing but the smallest data format. Okay. It comprises of either 0 or 1. Okay, and your IPv4 address is a 32-bit address. What I mean by 32 is that it contains 32 zeros and ones like these consecutively. Okay, and these 32 zeros and ones are divided into 4 equal parts. Each part is known as a octet. Okay, octa in the sense 8 bits. Okay, so you have 4 parts, it's 8 bits each. Okay, and each of this is known as a octet. In simple terms, it can also be called as a byte. Okay, and each octet or each byte is separated by a dot symbol. This is how computers know IP addresses to be like. Okay, this language is known as the binary language of zeros and ones, and your computers or information devices all communicate on binary language only. But for us humans, it's quite tough to understand binary. Okay, so we can calculate it now. If you're quite familiar, if you have some experience, you can calculate binary in your mind itself. But looking at it and understanding it's quite tough. Okay, so in today's class, we'll understand how we can convert any binary number to a human readable format, to a decimal number. Okay, decimal numbers are from 0 to 9. Okay, these are human readable, what we use regularly from day-to-day life. Okay, what computers communicate on is binary data. Okay, so today we'll understand how to convert binary data to decimal data and how we can range the IP addresses. Okay, before that, a quick introduction on data formats. As I've mentioned, one bit is nothing but a value of 0 or 1. When you combine 8 such bits, that becomes a byte. Okay, in simple terms, it can also be called as an octet. When you combine 1024 bytes, that becomes a kilobyte. Your textpad files, your contact applications and all these are in kilobytes of data. Okay, when you combine 1024 kilobytes, that becomes a megabyte. Okay, your PDF documents or your music files are in megabytes of data. 1024 megabytes becomes a gigabyte. Okay, your movie files or larger softwares are in gigabytes. 1024 gigabytes becomes a terabyte. Your hard disk is in terabyte storage data, and 1024 terabytes becomes a petabyte. We have never used petabytes until now. This petabyte data is usually used by cloud organizations. Okay, OneDrive, Google Cloud, blah blah blah. Okay, now let's understand how to convert this bit data or binary data into decimal data. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken down this first octet over here, 10101010, and I've written it down over here, as you can see, in an expanded format. Now to convert this, there are two simple methods. Method number one is there's two simple steps to it, not methods, sorry. Okay, there's one method only. okay, and with two simple steps. Okay, step number one is you write down the values from 2 to the power 0 all the way up to 2 to the power 7 from right to left. Okay, why specifically 2 to the power? Because this is binary data. You have only two possibilities, either a 1 or a 0. So first 2 power 0, then 2 power 1, then 2 power 2, then 2 power 3, then 2 power 4, then 2 power 5, 2 power 6, and 2 power 7. Let's write down the values for that. 2 power 0 is nothing but 1. Anything to the power 0 is always equal to 1. Okay, that is a mathematical rule. 2 power 1 is equal to 2. 2 power 2 is nothing but 2 into 2, which is 4. 2 power 3 is 2 into 2 into 2, that is 8. 2 power 4 is 16. 2 power 5 is 32. 2 power 6 is 64. And 2 power 7 is 128. Okay, now to convert this number, all you have to do is, just a second guys, let me open up Zoom so that I can draw on the screen. Give me a second. Right, perfect. So when you want to convert any number from binary to decimal, first things first, you have to write down these numbers. Then you multiply the lower number with the top one and add with the next one. As simple as that. Multiply, add, multiply, add, multiply, add. This goes on till the last step. Okay, so firstly 2 power 0 into 0. Anything into 0 is 0 itself. So I've written 0 over here. Then 2 power 1 into 1. That is 2 power 1 is 2. As you can see, I've written the value over here. Into 1 is the value itself, 2. 2 power 2 is 4. 4 into 0 again, we have 0. 2 power 3 is 8. 8 into 1, 8 again. 2 power 4 into 0, 0. 2 power 5 into 1, 32. 2 power 6 into 0, 0. And 2 power 7 into 1, that's 128. Now when I add all this up, 128 plus 32 plus 8 plus 2, that becomes 170. So when we humans read the number 170, the computer does not understand it like 170. It understands it like 10101010, something like on signal, off signal, on signal, off signal, on signal, off signal, on, off, like that 4 times. Okay. So is this clear, guys? Any questions or doubts up to this part? Like how we have converted this binary number to a decimal number? How we know that 170 is equal to 10101010? Any questions for anyone? Again, guys, if you have any questions or doubts, please feel free to raise your hand or let me know. You can interrupt me at any certain point. Okay, no issues at all. If you want me to repeat a concept also, please do let me know. I will repeat it as many times as you want. Okay, so guys, any questions up to this part? How we have converted this binary number to a decimal number? Shiva, Sujata, Bharati, Tripti, Vidyadhar. Who else is there?
Hello.
Biswajit, Chaudhary, Prasad.
Hello.
Yeah, Biswajit.
Sir, you spoke about binary to decimal conversion. Sorry, decimal to binary conversion. Am I right?
No, binary to decimal. I've converted
Binary.
this number 10101010 to
So
decimal number 170.
all the numbers was converted into binary as a decimal. All the binary number is converted into decimal 170.
Right. This specific number 10101010. Okay. How did we do that? We wrote down these numbers 2 power 0 all the way up to 2 power 7. Multiply the lower number with the top one and add with the next one. Multiply and add, multiply and add, multiply and add. And that's how I got the final result as 170. So this 170 in binary is equal to 10101010. Right. Is this clear, Biswajit?
Yes, I am clear. I know and I clear.
Perfect. If everyone has understood this, guys, I have another number over here, as you can see, 01011010. Can everyone convert this value and give me the answer for that? Take your time. You have the table over here as well. Okay. And as I've mentioned, you need to multiply the lower number with the top one and just go with the next. Multiply and add, multiply and add. Okay. Take your time, guys, and let me know.
Is it 90? Should be 90.
Correct answer, guys. 90 is the correct answer. Anyone else?
Sir, are you going to provide us this text file also, or like we have to take notes in means
No,
handwritten notes?
definitely. I'm gonna give this file at the end of the class. I'll take down all your email addresses, and on your email, I'll send this document directly. You don't need to take any separate notes, guys. I'm gonna send this document file. Just in case, as the class goes on, if you want to take down any running notes to note down any important points also, you can. Okay, but all these documents, all these notepad files will be given to you directly. Okay, so yeah, guys, I've received a correct answer from a lot of people over here. Again, as I've mentioned, just multiply the lower number with the top one and go on till the last. So this will be 2 power 0 into 0 plus 2 power 1 into 1 plus 2 power 2 into 0 plus 2 power 3 into 1, like that till the end, 2 power 7 into 0. Okay, to anywhere you have 0 over there, 2 power 0 into 0, just put that 0. 2 power 1 into 1, that's 2. 2 power 2 into 0, that's 0. 2 power 3 into 1, that's 8. 2 power 4 into 1, that's 16. 2 power 5 into 0, that's 0 again. 2 power 6 into 1, 64. And 2 power 7 into 0, 0. When you add all that up, 64 plus 16 plus 8 plus 2, you get the number 90. Anyone over here who has not got the number 90, guys, please do not feel shy. Again, if you're getting all the right answers, you're doing much great than me. In my first day, I could not solve this at all. Okay, I was a very dumb guy. So please, no shame in that. Okay, it's completely fine. Okay, because you need to get this concept very right in order to proceed with the further concepts. If you're failing at this one, it's gonna get a bit complex further down the lane. Okay, so any questions on this part, please do not hesitate to let me know. Okay, assuming everyone has got this right. With the other, yeah, exactly. The reason I'm showing you all this is to understand the range of IP addresses now. That's a great question. I was about to ask you. Again, I tell you myself, like in a real-time scenario, you would never have a necessity to convert a binary number to decimal or vice versa. But the reason why I'm showing you this is so that we can understand the whole range. So if you remember, I've told you, IPv4 addresses are 32-bit address. Okay, so in that 32-bit address, if I wanted to get the first IP address, all I have to do is put all zeros everywhere. Okay, now when you put all zeros everywhere, when you convert that, you get the final IP address as 0.0.0.0. Okay, but if you want to get the last IP now, you have to put all ones everywhere. Okay, in all the octets I've put all ones. So when I convert that, now there will be 2 power 0 into 1 plus 2 power 1 into 1 plus 2 power 2 into 1 all the way up to 2 power 7 into 1. So that would be 1 plus 2 plus 4 plus 8 plus 16 plus 32 plus 64 plus 128. So that is how you get the number 255. Okay, so the last IP in the IPv4 range will be 255.255.255.255. You will never have a number above 255. The reason being, now you know, because when you convert from binary to decimal, the maximum number you can get is 255 only. So you can never have an IP address like 300.250 or 700.150, something like that. Okay, that's an invalid IP. Okay, whatever IP addresses you have, those numbers will always range between 0 and 255. Okay, is this clear, guys? Everyone, why only specifically 255?
Yes, yes.
Any questions up to this part? Perfect.
No, this is
Now
the maximum. Maximum.
Yeah, guys, was someone asking a question?
No, I just asked you. This is the maximum IP address to be connected, and maximum host to be connected.
Yeah, that's the last IP address you could get in the IPv4 range, Biswajit.
No, this is the like from 0 to 255 hosts should be connected, I think.
Not necessarily. When we talk about IP addresses now from 0000 to 255, 255, 255, 255, we have around 4.3 billion IP addresses in total. Okay. What you're referring to is classes, guys. Class A, B, C. In class C, you can connect only 255 hosts. That is a much ahead concept. We'll reach there tomorrow. Okay. That's class C. Yeah, Vidyadhar. Exactly. Okay. So we have not come up to there, guys. So let's not jump ahead. That might confuse the other students. Okay. So we'll go in a very slow pace. Okay. We'll go step by step. Okay. Let's try to now we know the range of IPs. We know what IPv4 addresses are, how they look like. Okay, and what are the total like numbers, where are they starting from, and what maximum number can they hold. Okay, we know they start at 0000 and they end at 255, 255, 255, 255.